Jack HEWSON. Jack, what's the latest?
Well, I've just got back from a trip down to the Election Commission on Jalan Tamrin, which is a very large road right in the middle of town. While I was there, protesters began pelting the police with bottles and then fireworks. I also saw what appeared to be a Molotov cocktail being thrown across the police line. The police then responded by firing tear gas into the crowd. There were loud bangs as I and everybody else ran away into the frontage of a nearby building. Various people were injured during that process. After we got to a safe distance, we could see protesters had succeeded in setting the front of the Electoral Commission on fire with another Molotov cocktail. It was then put out with fire hoses on standby within the police line. There were a lot of ambulances coming in to pick up injured protesters. It seems most hurt themselves running away. It was quite chaotic trying to figure out what was going on. While I was there, I'd say there was about 5,000 people in the area, but it was quite spread out, particularly after the tear gas was fired. So the numbers are down on the 20,000 that was estimated by nightfall, but there seems to be a significant and insistent minority intent on causing trouble within that number who keep coming back and cycling back round to go again with the police.
Jack, what can you tell us about the people killed and who's responsible?
Well, last night, it seems that most of those deaths occurred in an area called Tanah Abang, very early in the morning, after what appeared to be rioters tried to break into a shopping mall there. There's videos which emerged of police advancing through the streets in that area, firing rounds at people. It's believed that though they have claimed, and it seems to concur with the nature of the injuries experienced, that those were plastic rounds. However, plastic rounds can be lethal depending on where they hit, and one person was hit in the chest, one was hit in the neck. 6 people have died, and it seems to be about half of those resulted from gunshot wounds, the rest from blunt force trauma of some description, which could have resulted from either side. So it's hard to know exactly how everybody died. Either way, it seems that the unrest and the chaos that is unfolding is the primary culprit. It's too hard to really pinpoint exactly who was truly to blame in that exchange. But so far, 6 people dead, 200 injured, or possibly more after the exchanges this evening, and we'll see what goes on later tonight.
Jack, any reaction from Prabowo Subianto or President Joko Widodo to what's going on in the streets, this violence?
In terms of a late night response, I've not seen anything come up so far, since this was about 8:30 p.m. this evening when I was down there, and it's now 10:15 here now. Earlier in the day, in the afternoon, Joko Widodo called for calm. He said that he valued the protesters and Prabowo Subianto, but he would not stand for any obstruction of democracy, and there would be firm measures for anybody who tried to interrupt that process. But he called for calm, he called for peace. Prabowo also asked his supporters not to incur any violence. Obviously, that's not been observed so far this evening, and it could deteriorate further, but that remains to be seen, and we'll have to wait overnight to see what's going to happen.
All right, thank you very much indeed for bringing us up to date, Jack HEWSON in Jakarta for us.